Your natural rights are those rights such as life, in which you acquired at the moment of your conception, liberty in the pursuit of happiness, freedom of religion and speech, self-defense, travel, etc., etc., etc. Hence, laws and statutes which violate your natural rights, though having the color of law, are not actually law but impostors. The United States Constitution was written to protect our natural rights from being tampered with by legislators. Furthermore, our forefathers wisely knew that the U.S. Constitution would be utterly useless to restrain government legislators unless it was clearly understood that the people had the right to compel the government to keep within the constitutional limits. Government is established for the weak against the strong. This is the principle, if not the sole motive, for all legitimate government. It is only the weaker party that lose their liberties. When a government becomes oppressive, the stronger party of all governments are free by virtue of their own superior strength. They never oppress themselves. Legislation is the work of the stronger party, and if in addition to the sole power of legislation, they have the sole power of determining what legislation shall be enforced, they have all the power in their hands, and the weaker party are the subject to an absolute government. Statistically speaking, Wyoming is the most conservative state in the entire nation, and in accordance with the Gillette's news record and Douglas budget, Jeffrey Wayne Dowles, 37, was convicted on June 12, 2008 in Wyoming's federal district court on 3 counts of knowingly selling drug paraphernalia. At the ensuing sentencing hearing on August 29, 2008, United States District Court Judge Clarence Brimmer sentenced Jeffrey to serve 3 years in the federal penitentiary. What the article neglects to adequately convey is that Jeffrey Wayne Dowles was previously found not guilty of the same offense when the case was originally tried before a circuit court jury in Gillette back in January of 2006. The article additionally neglects to warn you of how alarming the contradicting verdicts truly are. The logical consequences of trying an individual twice for the same offense are that it literally requires the new jury to try the old jury's verdict, thereby subjecting the unanimous meditations of their hearts to the scrutiny of a jury of their own peers. And that's an extraordinarily disrespectful way to treat we the people who diligently answered their call to perform their civic duty. It has continuously been impressed upon us throughout the course of our lives that government was instituted to work for the benefit of we the people. And as its people, we should be shocked to discover it utilizing the awesome power vested in it as a tool to unconstitutionally retry cases in federal court jurisdictions that have previously seen successful conclusions at state court levels. Authentically speaking, we know that the law is in place to uphold the Constitution, and that in every instance the Constitution should always surpass the law. Naturally, it becomes especially disturbing to discover a public policy calculated with the deliberate intent of empowering federal government to blatantly disregard your unequivocally guaranteed constitutional right to not be subject for the same offense to be put twice in jeopardy of life and limb. Bill of Rights, Amendment 5, double jeopardy. Ours is not a system designed to unleash the power of the government. It's a system designed to control it. And we the people have an indubitable, unalienable, and indefeasible right to reform or change our government whenever we find it adverse or inadequate to the purposes of its institution. Even though losing the double jeopardy clause of the Constitution may not affect you as a law-abiding citizen, it should nevertheless concern you. Because what if this was happening to someone you know, and 3 years of your right to have them present in your life was hanging in the balance of hypocrisy? If you realize that government is acting adversely or inadequately toward the purposes of its institution, and you realize that sacrificing our constitutional rights in furtherance of its own contradicting purposes is in no way beneficial to its people, we would greatly appreciate you aligning yourself in our mission of pointing a generation of young minds in the direction of the truth by taking advantage of the forwarding options located at the bottom of this video. You can link this video to your buddies at Facebook or simultaneously send it as a bulletin to every one of your friends on MySpace by simply clicking the Facebook or MySpace tab below the video here on YouTube. You may know someone who can help shine light on this terrible miscarriage of justice, and putting them in touch with the truth is literally as easy as clicking the Send Video tab and entering their email address. The narration in this video was taken from a letter to the editor of the Douglas budget. It was signed by Virginia Gale Peterson, Jeffrey's mom. God bless.